Okay, here we go. This is the audio-visual system for the Federated Church here in Waterville. Even though it looks all complicated, it's not. I'm going to do a quick tutorial and get it all set up for you. So first thing I do is turn the computer on, the laptop computer, and allow it to boot up. Second thing I do is turn on the main switch, which is connected to various devices. One being the soundboard, the other being the wireless receivers for the wireless microphones. The next being this audio-visual switcher that we bought. And then it also turns on the video output for the switcher. And then we'll turn on the main camera. And there's a little slide switch on the very top. You'll just forward of a little red light that's hard to see. Slide it forward, and now it's live. And as you can tell, that's the output from the camera going through the switcher. So let's set the switcher up. First thing we need to do is activate mic 1. So you turn it on. And then I've learned through experience that we need to increase the volume. So by pressing the button twice, 1, 2, we'll increase the volume by approximately 6 dB, which is right there. So you know you got the correct one. That's microphone 1. Then we'll activate the microphone for the camera, and it says on. Red means on. Doesn't mean stop, it means on when it comes to audio visual stuff. And as you can see, it says camera 1, and I need to decrease the volume on it by about 6 decibels. So back over here, camera, in the down arrow, 1, 2. And it's decreased by 6. That way when we record, the channel volume isn't overwhelming. So basically we got the audio switcher set up for simple very simple recording session. In order to record, it says record. It's off to the kind of the upper right hand side. It says record. You see the little green light. Doesn't mean it's recording, it means it's off. Here again, red means it's ready to record. Red means press the record button and it lights up. And now we are recording. But for the purposes of, and it records to this little portable hard drive. But for now, we're not going to worry about recording, and I'm just going to turn it off. But it's ready to record. Next, we'll go over to the computer, and since it's turned on, we'll go ahead and press the enter button, and you'll see it says we need to enter a PIN. And now the computer is going to be loading up. Give it a moment. While we're waiting for the computer, I'm going to turn on the overhead. This is the remote for the overhead projector. Press the on button, and when you look up at the overhead projector, you'll be able to see a green light flashing, which means it's good to go. And you can hear it turn on, fan comes on. And then you can see on the screen here where it's, well, now we see what's on the laptop on the computer. So let's walk back to the laptop. And we will, just for demonstration purposes, we will keep it loading. Computer's loading. While it's doing that, let's go back over to the soundboard. As you can see, this is for channel 1. And in order to activate the sound to come through the soundboard into the speakers, you have to press this on-off button. When you press it on, the light lights up, and whoever is talking into the microphone will come through the sound system. And then you can turn it off. As you can see on the notes here, the same thing holds true for pulpit. The pulpit is the microphone. It's on the pulpit, right underneath the screen. Yeah, we can turn it off. Pastor works this microphone right here, lapel microphone, that he puts onto his, that he'll strap on. There's an on-off switch right on top. Turn the on-off switch on, and the battery is dead, which I'm glad we just found out. On the lapel mic, this is the transmitter end of it. There's an on-off switch on the very top. You can switch it, and when it is on, red means you're live. And another way you can tell is to look at the receiver. The receiver has pastor written on top of it, because this pastor's normally the one that wears this one. And you can tell that it is turned on. That's off. And then when you see the little bar to the left, you got 5. Means you're receiving 5 bars out of 5. So you got real strong radio frequency. And when you're talking, 1, 2, 3, 4, look. When you're talking, you'll see the bars on the right-hand side go up and down. And that's pretty normal. I'm going to turn it back off. Now it is off, so you know the batteries won't be running down the batteries. The next one over is for the handheld mic. All that number is the frequency that it uses. And in order to turn the handheld mic on, there's a button on the end. Press and hold, and you will see the red light right there, which means you are live. You are actually talking. And in order to, and as you can see, just as a demonstration, you can see the red light, or excuse me, the green light flashing means you got a good signal coming into the soundboard. Now it's not live yet, so in order to make it live or make it come through the speakers, you have to turn on the switch, the little push button switch. It says handheld, and we are live. I can hear myself through the speakers. So in order to deactivate the mic from the soundboard, I'll turn it back off. And it is now off. And when you're done using this handheld mic, press and hold, and then it powers off. So basically, whoever is going to be talking, you have to activate the switch on the soundboard. So channel 1 is the floor mic, which you can see there. On, off. Pulpit, on, pulpit, off. Same way with the pastor. A lot of times the pastor will leave the transmitter on, so you have to be careful when he's not talking to make sure you get that he is turned off. These little slider buttons right here, for example, pulpit. You will see that perhaps somebody has a softer voice and you can't hear them, so that will increase the volume. But a lot of the times I find that if you start a little low, say at -10 or even -15 dB, that if they're a little soft, you can just slightly turn it up. Same way with the floor mic. Somebody who has a soft voice, you may have to increase it. Somebody who's rather loud or whose voice carries, you can always decrease it. This little gizmo right here is a remote for the camera. So T means tight, W means wide. And if you take a look, I'm going to press the T button, and there we go, it zooms in. And you can always move the microphone around too, or you move the camera. Right there, that's a pretty good shot for the pulpit when the pastor is speaking. You can see it's got a funny color on it to it right now. The camera will adjust to the color. The lights are off. Let me just turn the lights on and see if that'll help with the color. And it already looks like it's starting to. So if you had more than one input, camera input, camera 2 would show up, camera 3, camera 4, and it doesn't have to be a camera. You can plug in an iPad, which I've done, and it gives you different inputs. And then you can switch. These are your switchers right here. Camera 2, 3, and then back to camera 1. Not so hard. We're going to zoom out. That pretty much covers everything. Piano player. So next thing is that we'll get the computer going, and it looked like it went into a rest mode. There we go. And once you, see if I can do this. I'm going to just do this for demonstration purposes. Let's see if I can't find an old PowerPoint. Here's an old PowerPoint. I hope we have it. Get rid of that. There we go. This is an old PowerPoint. It already loaded up. And let's see here. And as you can see, it's up on the screen also. So here you go. One other thing I want to show is turning on these TVs here. This TV will show what the camera is showing in the sanctuary. I'll turn it on. Got a few steps to go through. And as it's coming on, it says HDMI 2. It needs to be switched to HDMI 1. Press the source button. And you will see it's on HDMI 2. Select, go up. Select HDMI 1. And now, in order to get a signal from the from the sanctuary, we have to plug in that little converter right there. So let's plug it in. That activates it, and it will send a signal to the TV set. And there we go. Now we're looking at what's in the sanctuary. Next thing we can do is very similar. We'll come out into the foyer. We can turn on this TV set. And then plug in, very similar to what was in the other room, turn on this other converter. It's an SDI to HDMI 3G converter, if that means anything to anybody. And there we go. So basically, we are good to go for a church service. And now I'll just do a quick shutdown, which is really easy. We've already stopped recording. That's a good thing. Right there, there. All we got to do is just turn off this main switch. Double check the transmitter. Make sure it is turned off so we don't run down the batteries. And we'll just escape out of this PowerPoint presentation. There we go. We can turn the computer off. Let's see. And it says it needs to update. So we'll just do an update and then let it shut down. And in order to turn off the projector, just about got to walk up underneath it, press the off button. It'll say, and then it'll prompt you to do it again. Oh, and there we go, it's turned off. So that just about concludes what we can do for a simple audio-visual setup here at the Waterville Church. And let us remember to turn off the TV set here in the foyer and unplug the converter. We'll go into the sanctuary, or excuse me, the fellowship hall, and do the same thing. Here's the remote. Press the power button. Off it goes. Unplug the converter. Done. Okay, that wraps that up.